From the Wicked Witch's hat and the Wizard of Oz to I Dream of Jeannie's bottles, some of the most famous items from the world of entertainment will be hitting the auction block next month. Joe Maddalena is the owner of the Profiles in History Auction House. Joe, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We're going to get to these items. Where do most of them come from? Private collections?
Private collectors. A lot of people bought these years ago when they weren't really valuable, and now with the, how much these things are worth, they're coming out of the woodwork.
Meredith was just telling me diamonds are a girl's best friend. And this is the dress that Marilyn Monroe wore in the movie Gentlemen Prefer Blondes when she sang that song.
Yeah, probably the most famous dance sequence, in her career. And again, Madonna did it in her, version of it. But it's the dress she wore. They made a few of these. It was made by Fox Studio. Trivia designed it, and it's one of the most important icons of film history.
You say they made a few of these, and you must get this question all the time. How do you know this dress is one of those dresses that it's authentic?
Okay, so this dress came out of Fox in the 1960s. Fox liquidated a lot, and they sold all of these things. My client bought it directly from Fox in, I think, 68 or so. When you open the costume up, you can see the construction inside. You can see the studio workmanship, little things like the Fox dry cleaning tag, which you can't fake. People wouldn't even know what they were. The labels, there's a lot you go through.
What type of price is this going to fetch?
Well, we have it at $150,000 to $250,000.
Wow.
And it could bring, the Marilyn Monroe dress that she sung, the birthday sold for $1.2 million.
See, I like the dress, but I love the
hat.
My
favorite.
This is my
I want
very
to take
favorite.
this home. This is my favorite.
This hat was in much of the movie.
Oh, absolutely.
So
one of the most beloved movies ever.
Absolutely. And there was a hat that was just in the melting sequence, and that went for $200,000 back in 2008. So what do you suspect this one's going to go for?
Well, because of the economy, we have this one less, $100,000 to $150,000.
Oh, okay.
But I sold a melting scene hat that sold for $204,000. There are 3 hats known to exist. I've sold all 3. This is by far the best hat.
Wow. Oh, I would love that little idea, little present.
Oh, it's fine. To this day, I don't know how Jeannie got in this bottle. It's so little. This is one of several they made for the first season.
For the first season, when it was black and white. And what it is it's a Jim Beam bottle off the shelf. When the producers were figuring out what they were going to do with the show, one of the producers walked in and said, I have this Jim Beam bottle on my shelf. This looks good. And they just bought a bunch of them and they painted them. And it's one of the few that survived. A great, iconic piece of TV history.
What's that going to fetch?
15 to 20, but I would think more.
Okay.
Yeah, I would too. I think that's a cool thing. This is a script, this Harrison Ford script actually from Raiders of the Lost Ark, along with his handwriting in here. I imagine that would make it much more valuable.
Oh, it's amazing because it's his personal script, and there are comments in there where he's talking to himself about, do not play this like Han Solo. I am not Han Solo. He talks more about his character changing and how some of the dialogue is too Han Solo-y. It's amazing.
So what's this likely to go for?
We have it at $50,000 to $70,000. This is priceless.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Mary Poppins fans will recognize this as the magic carpet bag. This is the one that doesn't, it's kind of bottomless almost, is that right?
Yeah, it's called bottomless. This is the hero. There's a stunt one that doesn't have a bottom.
Right.
So the props would come through it.
Right.
This is the hero, and what's amazing is in the, it's a little bit...
There's some wear and tear on this, we should mention.
And what was great about this was when the movie came out, the studio did a promotion, and they filled us up with cash, and they raffled it off, and my client won it. They kept the cash, of course, and they stuck this in their closet. And, 50 years later, they called up, is this bag worth anything?
But will the damage compromise it?
No, because it's part of the charm of it. I mean, a lot of these things, people are like, wow, they look kind of junky. They're supposed to. If they look too new, you worry about them.
And finally, the boxing gloves from Rocky III, signed by Sylvester Stallone.
Absolutely. And, pop culture. A lot, $3,000 to $5,000, not the same as the other things we looked at, but a great piece of, our culture.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff.
Can I touch it?
Absolutely.
And the auction will take place starting on June 10th in Calabasas Hills, California. Thanks very much.